Math and history nerds will love this. Solid history for everyone else too. Okay, so I'm a dude that got a computer science degree 20 years ago and came within literally half a dozen classes of getting degrees in mathematics and secondary mathematics education at the same time, who also took hist classes as electives just because they sounded interesting. In other words, this book may as well have been titled, Jeff Sexton Will Beg to Read This Book, because I damn near did. But clearly, I am the very math and history nerd that my title of this review above explicitly said would love this book. Clocking in at 19% bibliography, it has a healthy enough backing so that it doesn't drop a star on that account, and really the only even quibble I have here is that in choosing to end in 1938, Bardi doesn't even attempt to show how the war he describes here played out in the post-Second World War world where the rise of computers and computer science changed pretty well everything in mathematics. Still, for what it is and what it actually covers, this is an utterly fascinating book that gives enough of the backstories of everyone involved to show how they arrived at the moments they did and why they mattered when they got there without going too deep into unnecessary detail too often. Yes, even when it looks like Bardi is going off on some wild tangent that can't possibly be related to the Great Math War, such as the Boer War, he ultimately manages to bring it right back around and show how that tangent actually played a role in shaping the thinking of one of his principal targets, or at minimum someone closely linked to them who also shaped their thinking. For me, this was an utterly fascinating look at a period of math history I hadn't previously really considered, featuring several names I had known of from other exploits and adventures, but had never really dived into from this angle. And yes, at least some of the most famous of their era make appearances here, up to and including one Albert Einstein. I do think that one of the more fascinating tidbits that I had not known, particularly as someone who learned the basics of set theory in 2004-2005, was just how new that particular branch of mathematics was, and how controversial it had been even a century before I learned it, at which time it was clearly being routinely taught to senior-level college students. And I still hold that we can actually teach it even in elementary school, as one key feature of it ultimately revolves around remainder division. Truly an excellent book written without the dryness that can accompany such texts in the hands of less skilled storytellers. This is absolutely one of those kinds of books that many will enjoy and a few will absolutely love. Very much recommended.